Hi guys, good morning. Bloody hell, a mad hair day. Coffee. Oh, the weather has been... I'm not really sure I could call it weather. I think I might need a new name for it, like, I don't know, spreader or something. It's just like the chemtrailing went really mad. I'm not sure if any of you remember, but you know, during the so-called lockdown, I hate all this terminology, all these words that we use now, almost without thinking about it, because it's a new language for the new norm all. But yeah, there was no chemtrailing going on. The skies were clear. I remember that very distinctly, and there was this sense of almost like optimism, which was misplaced, obviously, and not that I've felt optimistic or anything particularly in that sense, but I noticed it, and there was this sense of, oh look, it's good for nature, and I'm like, yeah, Agenda 21 guys, you know. Because I think that what they want is they want to create a world which is a bit like Brave New World meets Terminator Judgment Day meets 1984 or something, you know. They want to annihilate nature and animals and people. They want that. They don't want a blade of grass left, and they want no morals left, because one thing that's massively under attack is our our moral nature, morals. Because if you look at it, right, sexual deviancy now is norm all. They teach sadomasochistic sexual practices in schools now to 5-year-old kids and whatnot. Pedophilia is now a lifestyle choice. Television, oh boy, ever since television came in, people have been programmed, myself included, with just an avalanche of dark, satanic garbage, which has eroded our morals. Women's lib, whoa. Women are now out, having careers and working, and I'm not saying that's wrong, by the way, as such. I believe in, you know, girl power. I'm a big Spice Girls fan. Do you want to come down, Looms? Just a minute. Come, son. It's alright. Oh, I hope that's not a dead mouse. Stepped on one of those before. Alright, son. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Say hello, this is Looms. Hello, everybody. Hi, my darling. Are you okay? Oh, we all love you, you know. Everybody loves you. They do. Mummy loves you very much too. So, anyway, if it's a bit rambly this morning, guys, just please bear with me. Because, you know, I don't know what else. I just felt like doing a video as I do, you know, like, you know, you all know what my videos are like. They're always a bit rambly and a bit like, it's very early. It's 13 minutes past 6. Yeah, morals, you know, decline, the literal, the just dissemination of morals. I'm not saying that we should go back to the way it was before that, because then everybody was behaving in a more sort of moral way. There was all kinds of poison just behind the surface, and that is the truth. So it was just more hidden, it was better hidden, and then for some reason they decided to program the public, the hive, whatever, to become ever more immoral. Television had a massive influence to our moral detriment, there's no doubt about it. It's also had an effect on the opposite side of the spectrum, though. And that is true too, because when you're awakening, you learn to utilize everything to serve your and everyone at the soul traveler community, uses that to its highest good and resonance. I do believe that. I mean, the amount of times that I've been watching something on TV and it's showing me this. I mean, you could have a spreadsheet with bullet points on it saying, oh, I learned this and I learned that and I learned that and I learned that. And it was like, wow, yeah. I don't watch a great deal of TV. I mean, in fact, I don't have a TV. I have a computer and I have a, whatever. Occasionally I watch a film. But the minute it feels loaded, energetically, that's it, off. I don't have any trouble with anything like that. And it's amazing what might feel loaded and what might not. Actually, it isn't always a given that, oh, that's bound to be loaded, etc., But, yeah, the chemtrails, like, wow, it was... And ever since then, the weather is odd. I've never known it like this. It's almost as if I could get a knife and cut the air. It's very, very thick and oily or slimy or something. We can barely breathe. Breathing is really quite difficult. It's hot, but there's no sunshine, which is really odd. It's all wrong. It's all wrong, and you get the distinct sense that we're being poisoned, It's just... I mean, I remember back in the day where you have that sort of weather, where it's a bit warm and muggy and humid, but there's not sun, but you get like lightning and thunder. But this is different, it feels different. Everything feels incredibly thick and incredibly heavy, And then to top that off, I bought some vitamins, quite expensive vitamins, on eBay nearly 3 weeks ago now. And they never arrived, so I sent the seller a message. I was a bit peeved because they said, oh, well, here's the tracking number, why don't you sort your own shit out? And I'm like, actually, it's your shit to sort out, you send it to me, it never arrived. I went in, I checked the tracking number, and it clearly states that it has never arrived. It's still in transit. I got back to them, and at this point I'm a bit pissed off, right? I'm like, how can you treat customers like that? Can you please just send me out replacements? Maybe I should have stayed nice, because you tend to get things sorted better when you stay in the light, That's a fact, but I've been not feeling great and I just lost it a bit. And they only start really gaslighting me, saying that I'm lying and I'm making it up and I'm this and I'm that, and they're going to report me to eBay, and it's like, you are? Go ahead, because I've got the email and I've got the Hermes tracking there saying it has never arrived, so it's just like, what the fuck? Madness. They just don't want to spend another 40 quid and send me another bottle out, it's just really appalling. And you get more and more of this now, because this corona thing has made everybody, the hive, is behaving worse than ever before. It's like, yes, the moral decline, but also the decline in which we, people treat each other, the compassion, the empathy. It's like, where is it? Where is it? All of a sudden we live in a climate where you think everybody's watching you and everybody's reporting on everybody else and everybody's watching. You're not wearing a mask, I have the right to stick a knife in you if you're not wearing a mask, It's like in, I'm just trying to remember. Was that in 1984 where there was that public shaming, where somebody has said something or done something that goes against the mandates of Big Brother? And everybody turns around en masse and starts screaming abuse at you and pointing, like that. That's how it kind of feels now, really. I mean, I haven't had a lot of trouble. I don't wear a mask, end of, but we don't know where this is going. And I don't want to be a predictive programmer either. That's the last thing I want to do, because that doesn't serve anything or anyone. But it's like I find myself in a kind of no man's land in between the old consciousness, conflict, hell consciousness, very much in evidence with this exchange, this eBay situation. I mean, I took a screenshot of the Hermes, thing, stating clearly that it's never arrived. I'm waiting for a response. It's just mad. I'm just like, I just feel like, wow, I'm okay. The old is there, and it is the old consciousness. I had it yesterday, very strongly, of like, this is all there is. No matter what you do, you're never going to get anywhere. But it was so much more than that. Oh boy, it's so way beyond that I can actually put into words. The feeling is, the sense is that I cannot exist in this soup, this iniquitous soup, anymore. And I don't think any of us truly soul beings can we? I mean, I've dealt with depression my entire life. Even when I was young, very young, when I was a child, I was depressed. Only then I did not understand what I understand now, that it's because I am sold. It may not even be because of that, because we get back to this again, and I think that is central to it all in a sense, is that we don't fucking know anything. I mean, we make assertions as to the this and the that and the whatever we think this might be, whatever we think we might be. We make assertions, but we don't actually know anything at all. I mean, the only thing I feel, and I would say it is a knowing, is this heart center, this love, this power, something. And I felt it my whole life, just didn't know what it was. A sense of myself as something powerful, resonant, something very present, something very real, something very potent. But that has been covered over by so many layers of gaslighty nonsense that, wow. It's like seeing through water, or like seeing through, in America you call that saran wrap. It distorts everything. You can't see clearly, you don't know. You see an image of something, but you can't be certain what it is. It's a bit like that. This whole thing, this whole experience, and our self falls into that category in a way, because we are in this. Whether we are a part of it or not, we don't even know we are a part of it in a way, because it's happening and it's affecting us. It's heavy now. Really is. And I think that's what they want. They want us to feel that way, like all lights left. There's this, well, Mars is going retrograde. It's about to square Pluto. Pluto, the lord of the underworld. Well, hell, really. The gates of hell. Mars is square Pluto. Now Mars is that shining warrior. Mars is the I am. It's like a child, the beginning of the journey. But I always liken it in a sense to the end of the journey as well, because if purity and innocence is what actual power is, then Mars is that hero. Mars has done the whole journey, and if it's circular, he's come back to himself, herself, itself, has done the whole journey and has come back to the inception point of it all in the first place, realizing that, aha, I am. Alright, kiss. Come on then. Come on. You want to say hello? There you go. This is my boy kiss. Yes. So, where was I with that? Oh yeah, Mars, right? So Mars is the ultimate innocence. Mars is like the fool in the tarot. To me anyway. And he's done the whole journey and he's come back. Back to his innocence, back to his I am. And he's banging on the gates of hell here, Pluto. Squaring up for a fight. The self versus the forces of darkness. That's how I see that, basically. And you know, no matter what anybody says, astrology or tarot or any of this stuff, the runes, the I Ching, it's all open to interpretation, people. It really, really is. It's all fluid. You can have a particular card and you can, given any situation and the person you're reading for, it becomes something else. You know. The I am is squaring up to pounce its fist on the gates of hell. Yes. Mars is going to square up with Pluto. And that's very, very, very significant, I feel. But of course Mars is going retrograde. Yeah. David Icke always calls it a totalitarian tiptoe. The thing is that when you're awakening, quite high up on the sort of awakening scale now, and this is not a race, by the way, and I don't mean it like, oh, I am better than you because I'm more awake. I'm not at all there. Because anyone awakening is a fucking hero in my book, no matter what stage you are on. It's more like the Green Wizard says, you know, I'm like, my commiserations, fellow traveller, because this is just not, this is unprecedented, you know, guys. This isn't like, you know, fun at all. I don't know how any of us are still going at all. I just don't get it. It's like, wow, I refuse to give up. But why? I keep thinking about that quote by Frank Zappa, where he says something along the lines of, you know, it's the illusion of freedom will only be maintained for as long as it's profitable for the forces of darkness to maintain the illusion. At the point where it doesn't serve their purpose any longer, they will simply remove the props, they'll remove the tables and the chairs, they'll remove the curtains and the stage, and the actors and the actresses as well, I dare say, and you will see at the back of the theatre a great big wall. It's a bit like that. It feels to me like everything is being dismantled. That is the feeling that I get. It's like everything is being dismantled. We're not Anna Brees channel. I don't know how many of you are going on that. Anna as in A-N-N-A, Brees, B-R-E-E-S. It's a nice little channel. It's not a typical conspiracy channel, but there's loads of different people on there from different walks of life. Some quite very awake, some others are only just beginning to awaken, and everything in between, leaving their 2 cents, little videos, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes long, talking about how they feel about what's going on. And I find it quite interesting. I like this sort of thing. I get more from that than I get from outright conspiracy shit, because most of that depresses the hell out of me, and I already know this stuff, or I know it in my own way, because of course, can you really trust any of it? Is any of it real? No, it isn't. It's a virtual thing. See, so I tend to look at it very differently now. But anyway, that's by the by. But there's her with her camera walking around London, and all these shops are boarded up and restaurants are boarded up, and the buses are empty, and the cab drivers are not making any money, not getting any support from the government either. But if you're self-employed, you're screwed, you get nothing. This is really bad news. And it literally is like a ghost town, where few people here in their masks, like scared, social distancing, and that's it. She goes into the tube station, it's fucking empty. And I got a distinct feeling, like, okay, yeah. And it reminds me as well of that film and the book that, I read all the books many, many years ago. You know, all the vampire books by Anne Rice? They're all very loaded and actually very, very satanic. Looking back on it now, I realise exactly. And I'm like, okay, you're a Satanist, Anne Rice. Rather, you're a Babylonian. We should call them that, because Satanism is biblical, and I totally do not hold with that. But yeah, basically, you know, in Vampire Lestat book, the vampires under the queen, the great big vampire queen, of course, the oldest one, is there, and is a complete psychopath and, you know, rabid with bloodthirst and mania for destruction, because evil is just that way, actually. It seems sane, but it isn't. Evil is completely insane. When it destroys everything, itself is destroyed too. It doesn't realise that, but anyway. Hence the snake eats its own tail. There are many different meanings you can ascribe to that. But anyway, so yeah, her and Lestat are going around saying, yeah, you know, all the vampires, we shouldn't have to hide. Why should we have to hide? We should just be able to come out and, you know, lord it over humanity and just feed off them and their children as we please. And that's basically what they seem to be doing here. It's like a reset is happening. Like, okay, we're not going to pretend anymore that we're not going to allow you to go on thinking you're free and present you with this facade of democracy and freedom, you know, which isn't freedom at all anyway, but yeah, it's a bit like that. It is a make or break time, people, that we're in now, you know, in my humble opinion. It just really is. And yeah, it is virtual, or so it seems to me. Again, I don't know that, and I can't prove it other than my own experiences, which have shown me that it's just like the Matrix. You get these weird glitches. It's like a bird goes by wearing up with a twig, oof, and then the same bird goes by 5 seconds later. Exactly the same bird with the same twig, and it's like, alright, okay. The jogger, and then the jogger, and then the jogger. It's like, whoa. That's been happening. Now, has it always done that? And I've only just noticed due to my awakening? Or has it only just started doing that? I have no way of knowing. I mean, it's beyond the Truman Show, because the Truman Show was real. It was a television show. It was happening. This is different. It's different. But it is a stage. No doubt about it. But they're dismantling the stage, you see. They are. This is no doubt why I had that horrible dream with those two people. They were like in their 60s and they wore these mundane sort of clothes, you know, khaki blazers and whatnot. No colour whatsoever. Sort of grey, a bit like John Major, you know, he was a Prime Minister in England. And they used to have this show called Spitting Image, which was quite good. And John Major was always, and it was done with puppets, you know, Spitting Image. Look it up on YouTube, you'll see what I mean. And John Major was always grey. Well, those people were grey, they were just like that. And they said, oh, we're here for the culling. Wow. Whew. But then, of course, that was an inherently negative dream that left me reeling. But then I've had plenty of really potent dreams, and they're always in with animals. Like the Black Panther that jumped over me when I was stood in the middle of the road in the forest at night, that was a dream. Or the 4 shiny white horses, or the wolf dreams that I've had. Owl, you know, whatnot. It's there, I can feel it. It's right there, saying just give up, just let go, just give up. Don't think that the light is powerful and can do anything. Don't think that you are anything. You and your ilk, I soul travelers, you're all finished. You're finished. Evil has won. You need to accept that now. Well, that's like asking me to accept the unacceptable. That's like, no, that's not right. That won't be done. It can't be done. But it's hard when you're dealing with this type of shit, like that eBay thing. It's like weird. They said, oh, we did reply and we did do this and we did do that, and it's like, no, you didn't, no, you didn't, no, you didn't, and here's my proof that you didn't. Oh, it's just mad. It's mad. What do you do with it? You know, that's what evil does. Gaslighting, manipulating. This whole virtual reality, this whole thing, and again, it's not a computer simulation, guys, I don't hold with that at all. That's just really, that's limited think. Because computers exist in this fake reality, so you think, oh, it's a computer. No, it isn't. That's just being a bit stupid, actually. You need to think way out. There is no box, guys, alright? It's the whole thing, not just the people, but the whole thing, everything that is fake, that is not sold, that exists here, is malevolently gaslighty at all times and designed to tweak our consciousness, to trick us into a state of confusion and nebulous, you know, it really does. But despite that, we are awakening, and it's gaining really a lot of velocity now, I feel. Because what we're feeling here, and I'm sure you are all feeling it, you know, regardless of where you are at here, where you are in the world and whatnot, I know you can all feel it because it's so thick. It's this sense of like, now. It's a battle. It's not a conventional type battle though. This is why so many of us have trouble understanding it, because we're used to being given by the external this gaslighty idea of what a battle is, what it looks like, what it feels like, yeah? Like that. This is different. This is very different. And it uses, as always, our consciousness against us people, and therein lies the trick, I feel. But it requires us to take that leap of faith all the time, and it's the hardest thing. Because there's this saying, no, look, you're done, evil's won, this is all there is, and you know, that's it, you need to be with that. That is what you should think, that is what you should believe, that's how you should feel, and you need to just be there with that, accept that, that is the truth, that is the truth, that is the truth. And then there's the other side saying, it's not. Take a leap of faith, come into the light, love yourself, and know that yes, even if you feel like shit, and even there's all this weird shit going on, and it's all very woo and dark, and evil is posturing, you know, like the schoolyard bully, and it's looming, and it's dark, and it's oppressive as fuck, and it's like, oh my god, we're with our backs against the wall, we're finished, we're doomed, vaccines, this, that and the other, meow, meow, meow. It's using that against you, that is its weaponry. It's got all these guns and they're all aimed at you, but maybe it has no bullets. It's all posturing. Maybe your consciousness here is love, and maybe something is happening here, and it is just happening like the changing of the seasons. That resonated with me so much. Thank you, my friend, for saying that, because that's really supported me. I felt very supported by that notion, and I have known it to be true anyway, that it really just happens. But it does require our intention, and the intention is here, and it's okay, you can stay in the dark believing that we're doomed. Many people are doing that. Many conspiracy researchers are doing that, talking like that, oh, we're doomed and it's finished and we're done, or they're like this Q and all that, and that is becoming ever more clearly a psyop. It's, I mean, it's like there was a YouTube video there. There's all these mass arrests, and Tom Hanks has been executed, and you know whatnot and whatnot. And I'm like, no, he hasn't, and no, it isn't. And how can you even believe that? Get the fuck real. But yeah, again, all that drama is there externally playing out, and it's like we're all there going, oh, look at that, and look at that, and oh, and you know, and I strongly advise people to get away from all of that, because that is exactly what it wants. It wants us to be in the dark, in the mud, in the filth, in the shit, and ooh, and there, and ooh. When over here is where it's at, you know what I'm saying? That's at, it's here. The light. Self-love. But right now that's very hard. I mean, you don't really feel it very much, and you're really depressed and everything is really dark and you're worried and you're frightened. You know, when your health isn't great and your mental health is even less great. As so many of us just are at that point, aren't we? I mean, some of us have been walking this path now for, what, 20 years at least, and we've been doing this awakening for 20 years, and at the first we thought, right, it means you're just going to go from strength to strength and get better and better and happier, but at the point we didn't realise that this entire thing is just... We didn't realise that then. I mean, massive cognitive dissonance came up in me when I started realizing that this is all a kind of virtual thing, that it ain't real. And every time I had one of these anomalous matrix glitch experiences, that would set in and say, no, just second guess that, no, that's bullshit, that didn't just happen, it's not, you're just delusional, no, it's all real, it's all real. So the fact that that happens in and of itself kind of shows me that I'm on to something, because when you get that type of massive resistance to something, when the shadow self and the dark generator latching onto the shadow self, using it against you, are resisting something very, 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 very much, I tend to think there is a shitload of credence to it, and I tend to go with it if it feels right, and it often does. So yeah, yet again, I choose to stand in the light. So this whole thing with this bottle of vitamins, CoQ10, 40 quid's worth, and these assholes just like, what? I'm just gonna have to do what I usually do and stay calm and stay in the light, stand my ground. I know that I've got all the proof, but I can allow this to really fuck me up. And I have played my own part in it. I did get it wrong because I did get quite angry, and by now I should know to choose your battles carefully, Anika. You see, it's that Aries in me, man. I have my moon in Aries, I have my Saturn in Aries. It's like, calm down. Just be, you know, this comes down again to what I felt all along. Purity, childlikeness, rather than this ferocious, fire-breathing dragon energy of like, I'm gonna come down there and sort you out, you know. This never really works. Never has for me, not much. But when I become a little girl, and stay pleasant, but in full awareness of what I'm dealing with here, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. Gaslighty nastiness. This person has sold me something that I've never received, they owe me, they need to sort this out. I'm gonna go in there, didn't work, go in there. Right, so, knowing full well what you're dealing with, you get it sorted much more often than not when you have that childlike purity type energy. It's more yielding and it's highly intelligent. It knows exactly what it's dealing with, but it's not going to clash against it. Rather, perhaps it's going to be more like water or like the wind, and it's going to erode something. It's going to be patient. It's going to know exactly, okay, but I know what to do. Okay, you're gaslighting me, you're fucking me around. Right, I'm not going to give you my energy. I'll go to eBay, I'll get it sorted one way or another, and if all else fails, take a deep breath and then let it go, because I am going to be here with me. Yes, That is the way. I know that. I do know that. And I am having to learn that here. I think that's why this is happening with this ball thing. These fitties. I think that's really what it's about. So I could say that, yeah, I got it wrong again. Because I have this tendency to go into battle. You know, I have many lifetimes that I remember being a warrior of some sort, like a mercenary. I was a Viking type guy on this boat and doing a lot of raiding and fighting. I've many lifetimes where I'm just fighting with swords and whatnot. And I suppose that's left my soul with that warrior energy, but it needs to be tempered. It needs to be tempered. And it's okay. That's alright. I can learn. This is mistakes, people. You know, we get down to mistakes. It's like, oh, you've made a mistake. Oh, you've done it now. You know how the dark side in us, when you get it wrong, which you haven't really, because getting it wrong leads to getting it right. There is no getting it wrong, actually. But that sort of is, I suppose. But it can always be utilised, always. But when it's not utilised because there is the attack, this, oh, now you've done it, you've gotten it wrong, ooh, and all the darkness, all the blame, all that heavy fear, ooh, I've gotten it wrong, oh, I'm powerless, oh, I'm worthless, oh, I'm never gonna get it right, we're all fucked. That shit happens, you see, and that is how we do not learn from our mistakes, because that onslaught that happens when you perceive yourself to have gotten it wrong and made a mistake or whatever, comes from within. You see, it's this, you're powerless, you're worthless, you're shit, you're never going to get anywhere, you're never going to be allowed to get anywhere. That is what that is. And it's like, oh, you got it wrong. You see, that proves all of that. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. But it's there as a mechanism, a very deep implanted mechanism to stop you from learning from your mistakes. To no longer see the value and the treasure that a mistake is, because it isn't. It is. We're here to transcend, and it's like the Green Wizard said, it's not ascension, it's transcension. That's it. For any new subscribers, go check out another channel of the Green Wizard. You'll like it, I think. He's a bit of rambling like me, but he always hits the nail on the head pretty much, you know. It's... When I said it was our finest hour, I kind of meant it. I don't mean to boast you though, like, oh, this is our finest hour, because that is not how I feel. I know full well the gravity, because I can feel it, literally, of it all, and I feel the darkness and I see it, but I also feel the love, the love. It's not like, I love you, baby. It's not like that. It's not Marvin Gaye or Barry White. It's not. It's a consciousness. It's a different type of consciousness. And it's very present here, and I can feel it very strongly in my heart. Where all that's only been happening in the last few months. That was really born. I became aware of that, and that is new. And it's what's keeping me going. And it's clear, it's crystal clear, it's there, and it says it's going to be alright. It doesn't look that way, it doesn't feel that way. You have all this shit going on there that's like, that is the truth, that's the truth. It's that darkness, all light has gone out, evil's won, you're finished, that's the truth. And you should stick with that, because if you go into the light and trust that feeling that you have that everything's going to be alright, you're only going to be horribly disappointed, and oh, what will you do then? So let's just stay in the dark, because it's better that way. At least you won't be disappointed. It's like, yeah, right. That doesn't even really make any sense if you think about it. You know that it doesn't. And so I'm not going to be doing that. But, Yeah, well, the light is here, people. It is the true consciousness. It's, you know, and it is potent, and it is very pure and very childlike. It doesn't need to fight battles. It fights in a different way. It's similar to what a lot of people call the feminine principle. But when I start thinking about that, actually, the feminine principle and a masculine principle, there is truth to it, but at the same time it is a little bit not quite, if you know what I mean. I feel that this shift is happening, this shift in consciousness. The hell consciousness creates hell. The true consciousness, well, we've yet to see. But it's here, and I'm with it, and I can begin to understand more and more, and follow along with that, and behave along with that, to choose there. Instead of you're powerless and you're worthless and you're never going to get anywhere, and let that inspire me in a negative way, manifest a certain reality in which nothing ever works out for me, and I'm sick and I'm poor and everything is bad, and you know, good things only happen to other people, blah blah blah, because that's what you manifest, literally. And way to go is living in there. That's it. Okay, I want that. That's what I want for you to do with your consciousness. This says no, 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 that's bullshit. You are potent, and your consciousness creates reality. So be here, and this I am, this power, infinite creativity and infinite love, and see, watch and learn and see what it can do. But you've got to take a chance on me. You've got to take a leap of faith. You've been there your whole life. You know where it will get you. It's fucking shit. Do you want to take a chance on me? I'm here. Door is open. It's up to you. And that really is where we're at here, people. Maybe things have to get so bad that we're finally realizing that, and finally take that leap of faith, because it's like, alright, I'm done with sitting in the shit here. Yeah, I'm done with that now. Maybe it was always that way. I can't prove it. I can't say, well, ta-da, here's the proof. Can't. It's an individual choice whether we choose to make this shift from dark to light and become masters, because that is what I feel it is. I keep seeing the number 33 just about everywhere, or 3333 or 333. It's everywhere. It's a number of mastery, because my full name adds up to 33. No, sorry, it doesn't. No, my birth date, adds up to 33. My name adds up to 11, so I'm an 11 and I'm a 33. There's two master numbers. No wonder my life's been so... You know, you get these NPCs sort of people. It's like, oh, I'm a master number. And it's like, yeah, well, if you're sold and you're a master number, then I commiserate with you, because it's not going to be an easy ride. You're much better off being whatever. But then again, no, that's not true anyway. See, I talk so much utter nonsense, it's unbelievable. I really sometimes listen to myself and I'm like, and we've got to learn to do that as well, because you've got to learn to sit there and just listen to your mind doing all this weird shit all by itself, all this kind of like verbal gymnastics, utter drivel. And you've just got to learn to be really objective and just be the witness and just be there and yeah, whatever. And no, okay, I'm not really thinking that. I need to let that go, because otherwise we're constantly in a state of negative resonance emotionally, because oh, I've just thought that, oh, it makes me feel like shit. Oh, I've just thought that, oh, and that makes me feel like shit. You see? Because that's another way that it controls us, you see, and we need to be aware of that. It's bullshit, it really is. You can meditate. For some people that really, really helps. But for some of us, it's beyond that. It doesn't work anymore. It used to, but it doesn't now. It's just a case of being in awareness, regardless of what and how you're feeling, and then tuning into this, choosing this. Making choices based on love rather than making choices based on fear and self-hate. which leads to more shit and being stuck in a hell realm. And here, and taking a chance on it, because as yet, yeah, it's like, okay, well, come on then, show me the fruits of my labour. I've done the work. It's an ongoing process, people. And it's a terrifying thing, because you really are convinced that you're going to be betrayed. It's like it's going to turn out to be some fucking trap where it's a carrot on a stick, and you're going to put your faith in that part of your being. You're going to put your faith in the lie, and it's going to just turn out to be some fucking lie. Oh, it's hard. But you see, it's a no-brainer if you think about it, right? You know exactly when you're here. You know, because you've been there your whole life. It's really bad news, and it's just gonna, you know, regenerate more of the same ad nauseam. This is new, let's go there, people. Well, that would be my advice, but you know, you gotta work it out for yourselves. So, yeah, that's my morning coffee ramble for today. Just, you know, dunno. All my love to all of you people, and yeah, hang in there and choose to really come home to yourself and whatnot. Just do it in whichever way you do it. That is the new consciousness, and if it's the only thing that matters now, it really is. So, mwah.